So, hello, welcome YouTube, welcome to my trading channel, okay? Um, like always, welcome in my closet, okay? Really appreciate you watching this video. This video is part 4 of my trading course, okay? Free trading course, whatever you want to call it, Orderflow course. Because I do want to break down my strategy very in depth, okay, for you guys. So I do need a series for it. My strategy is very hard to break down in one single video. Although I did try to, okay, I'm gonna link it down if you don't have time or interest in watching the entire 20 video series, which is probably gonna end up being, okay. But yeah, I'm also like for my content in general, I'm just want to put out the series as fast as possible to help as many people and of so many real followers of me, okay, as possible. So I'm not gonna be spending tons of time on editing these videos or making them look super nice, okay. I do think like it's more important to have good information, accurate information, like valuable information than to have like awesome looking entrepreneur influencer style kind of videos, okay. I don't want to be one of those trader influencers, okay, who has like these perfect looking videos and like really like it just everything looks perfect, but the actual information in those videos is kind of trash, at least in most, okay. So I want to be rather the opposite to that, okay. So anyways, let's jump right into the charts and into part 4, okay. Today we're gonna be talking about the pivots, okay. I'm gonna pull my face here away and I don't have to look at me. So now we're gonna jump into the video, okay. So in the part 1 we already covered what is a market order, what is a limit order, okay. Then in part 2 we covered the times and sales, so what's this here, okay, what I'm looking at. In part 3 we covered the bell curves here, okay, like market volume profile, which is also important. And now we're gonna be going over pivots, okay. So like with everything else, okay, like with the bell curves, for example, which I talked about, pivots are happening at the same time at all time frames. You gotta remember, like there are traders on all sorts of time frames, okay, who are trading at different prices and to hold trades for different amount of time, okay. So like you do have when we talked about bell curves, we had overlapping bell curves, okay. So we said like, okay, there's a big bell. So for example, if I reset the footprint chart now, we do have here a big bell curve, okay, like kinda like till here, okay, and here, and this bell curve now gets overlapped by another bell curve that's building right here, okay. And then those bell curves like get into each other, okay, and then a break of the one bell curve would lead into a break of the bigger bell curve and stuff like this, okay. So you always gotta remember, like everything is working simultaneously on all sorts of time frames, okay. And the same thing is with pivots, okay, what I want to talk about today. Obviously, like if we take the biggest chart which I have here, like if we just look at price action for now, like this is, for example, is a 4,000 tick chart, okay. Like I did do my live stream today, like I always do, okay. So you can come and watch. I'm 100% transparent, live streaming every day, the US Open, okay. These were my trades from today. Anyways, like you do have pivots, okay, like you have them on all time frames. So for example, you do see price come up here, okay, now this is a pivot, this is a pivot, then now we pivoted down here, we had a small pivot here, we got down here, then we actually no, that's probably shot up first, I don't remember now. That's why it's different, important, for example here, why it's important to have smaller time frames here to look at where it pivoted first, but eventually it came down, pivoted here, pivoted here, pivoted here, pivoted here, okay. The pivots are pretty much high and lows, okay. So at least for my style of trading, okay, everything is individual in trading, but here I'm talking about my trading style and my trading, yeah, which made me profitable after struggling for 2 years. And I'm going like into about a year now of consistency with this strategy. So yeah, this is what works for me, basically. So, and then you have like, you have a pivot, a clear pivot here, you have a pivot here, pivot here, pivot here, okay. Pivots are highs and lows basically, but not every high and low, like that's where it gets kind of messy, okay. Like pivots, for me at least, okay, are places where we see like price clearly move away and move away fast, okay. So I don't want I don't want, so for example, this was a clean pivot, okay? We shot up, bam, okay, got rejected hard here. So this is a clean pivot, okay? Stuff like this, okay? Now, if you look at this here, like this is not so clean pivots, okay? Like I wouldn't consider this a pivot. Although I would consider this a pivot and this maybe kind of a pivot, okay? Then definitely this here again a pivot, but here we go, bam, okay? It's always about the speed and the volume and velocity, how price moves, okay? In order for me to consider this a good pivot, technically everything is a pivot if price turns, okay, if pivoted, but in order for me to consider it as a pivot, I want it to move away fast, okay, or on volume. And we're constantly looking at the pivots, okay? So where does price pivot? Because what happens at pivots, okay? Like usually people will place stop orders around previous highs or lows, okay? So that's why having a clean pivot is always better. Because if you have a clean pivot, then you're gonna know, for my style of trading, again, like if you pivot clean here, okay, then you know there's probably some guys having stop losses below it, okay, because this obviously looked like the clean bottom, okay. So what's happening here, okay, like let's look into this, okay. For example here, this is for example something that's getting very interesting, okay. So this looks like absorption a little bit stop hunt, okay. This is for me a stop hunt, probably absorption that they want to push this higher. I don't know what's about to happen here, but for me, like this is looking like we're going higher. Why? For context, okay. Here because we did pivot here, okay, came back down, pivoted again, okay, then came another time back down, and now once we broke this low, okay, here, there in my thought process, okay, there probably were a lot of stop losses from long positions just below this low, okay. And the thing is, like with those stop losses, they are always market orders. So stop losses are always market orders, okay. So once we broke here, okay, like there were a lot of stop losses, a lot of stop market orders coming into the market, okay. So if this would been want to go lower here, this would have a lot of speed and volume come in from the stop losses, okay, in order to take this lower. But we didn't, like we grabbed this here, like we just went, was this one tick we just went one tick lower, and then we I didn't watch the tape at the time, but that's why like watching order flow is important, because if we break here, okay, for example, if we broke here, okay, and then we see like limit absorption, also buyers absorb here, okay, then they just took out their stop losses from those guys, the stop sell orders, and just filling a long position, okay, a big long position, and then they start market buying again, bam, okay. And now what happens is, now we first off we just took out all the stop losses from the people, okay. And secondly, there are breakout traders as well, okay, so like who wanna jump in, okay, once a low is broken, okay, they also jumping in with a stop sell order, okay. So they also like getting in on the break here, okay, like trying to get in here, maybe even around here once they saw the big 30-second candle down, okay, bam, and then okay, they're getting in for the low here. Now the low is breaking, so they're getting kind of confirmation for their thought process, okay, because in trading you always have to think what other traders are thinking, okay. So now they're getting confirmation, they might even add to their sell position here, okay, in order to take this lower, but then they get stuck here, absorbed here, and the market rallies back up, okay. So now we do have all these sellers stuck here, okay, all these people who sold the low here be kind of stuck, okay. Probably having the stop losses. Now we're really thinking, okay, bad example here for me, okay. So, but like I said, my content is 100% honest and transparent. Like I'm not recording this video in hindsight, like you see, okay. And that's also kind of a thing I wanna be talking about, okay. You always need to manage risk, and like yeah, trade according to your risk and stuff like this, because no strategies ever be 100% perfect. Okay, like even though this looked like a stop hunt here and the liquidity grab, and then we did actually even get a breakout here. So this looked very good for a long break. Okay, break to the long side here, but obviously it didn't. Okay, so that's manage your risk. Okay, yeah. So that's for the price action part of my pivots. Okay, so I do look at price action as well. I do look at pivots on the price action. Okay. Then on the order flow, okay, we're also looking at pivots. Okay, you can either do this directly on the DOM, okay, or you can, like I'm doing it kind of as well on Auction Vista. That's the main reason actually I have the Auction Vista up. So the Auction Vista is a very short-term chart. Okay, this is pretty much so around 2 to 3 second chart. Okay, with tick volume. Okay, so and we want to watch this for pivots as well. Okay, because it's important how price is moving. Okay, I did have this question. I got this question yesterday, so this is in one of my videos under in the comments. So that's why I'm also like today recording the pivot video. It is important how the price moves. Where, okay, just because the price, for example, from a breakout scenario setup, okay, just because the price is hanging around a high and absorbing and strong market buying on big size, this doesn't necessarily mean it's a good breakout to take. Like, obviously, it's one of the criterias, but it also, like, you need kind of context how the price moved through the bell curve previously. Okay, how often did it pivot? How hard did it pivot? Where might be people stuck? Okay, where and so on. Okay, how hard are the rejections of the bottom? Okay, are we, when we coming down to the low of a bell curve, really like just touching it, bam, and shooting back up? Okay, and really rejecting this price and pivoting hard, which is kind of good for us if we want to go long later. Okay, then we really, okay, we have no interest in the low. Or are we, when we're approaching the low of the bell curve, like kind of hanging around here? But that again could mean two things. Like it could mean, it could even be good for a breakout to the upside if we hang around the low for long, because then there would be more people selling into it and then eventually getting stuck if we do break out. So if we're hanging around the low for a while and we do get the breakout is usually bigger. Okay, so that's why you can't also really tell without context where the breakout, how big it's gonna be. But with context you can tell, because if we like hanging around the low for a while, okay, not really rejecting off it like we did here. Okay, we did pivot twice here, or 3 times actually, off this low, but we were hanging around here. Okay, we were not like really like bam. Okay, so we did hang around here, so we did build some volume here. So if this breaks now to the upside, for example, this could really like shoot. Okay, like maybe even to the 90s, to the point of control. Okay, on like one big spike. But it's always, you need the context. Also, how is it moving through the middle of the bell curve? Is it, if it's approaching the middle, is it rejecting, is it just hovering around, pivoting in small pivots, building volume, or is it just like bam, 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 bam? Now here we do get the breakout. Okay, now we do get it. This looks like a clean, good breakout. Okay, we do see lots of buy side volume. Okay, long, strong market buying. We see a strong bid. Okay, like we did see the price hang out for a while down here. So we have probably a lot of sellers stuck here. Okay, so this looks good for me. Like this might retrace here. We did have a high node and then volume zone here. Okay, so for this breakout, for example, you wouldn't want to see it come below 86.50 here really, and you kind of would want it to go like maybe to 90. Okay, because 90 would be a good clean target here with the point of control, like pulling the trades in. Okay, gonna be making another video about point of controls as well. Now we did break through this volume zone, so this is becoming less, how should I say it, like not so nice anymore for a breakout. But yeah, it's kind of hard for me right now. Like I'm explaining this video and breaking down this video, so kind of hard for me to really like look at this cleanly. Yeah. So yeah, that's for the most part about pivots. So I hope you understand it. I think I might do another video on it if you're still like wondering what pivots are, like, and how you should use them. But I think like you could have gotten the message, at least if you have a good idea roughly about trading. So but now like obviously this here was a good pivot, and now like you kind of you would have to switch context here again, because now we did have this big volume here, we did go higher. Okay, probably some people bought the breakout here because it would have looked like it would have looked nice, honestly. Like you did see like people buying it and stuff, and yeah, it was kind of nice, especially like with hanging around the low here, stuff like this. And now if we're going down, like again, like looking kind of weak. But that's it for the pivots now. This video might not be my best video today. But anyways, I do appreciate you watching it. Might redo this. Gonna post it anyway because I really need to get my series out here. I don't wanna like hold you guys longer back here. I wanna put my series out, and then I might redo one video after another. So let me know what do you liked about the video, what you didn't like, what I should explain a little bit better, because it's always, I'm still learning to explain trading. Okay, like I'm new to this YouTube stuff, so I for me it all makes sense, but for you it might not, which is obviously no problem. So now we did see a good pivot here. Okay, now we're holding here. This was good pivot off the low. Anyways, I'm drifting off. So for me, everything makes sense, obviously, but I'm not the best at explaining it yet. Okay, so I will be at some point with your help, maybe. So let me know. Let me know. Yeah, just what you liked about it, what you didn't like so much about it. I love critic. Okay, I love criticism. So when you don't like something about my content or anything, okay, like just tell me in the comments. I'm really not taking it badly. Okay, like I love good criticism, especially if it's constructive. But obviously, like if you're just saying anything, also fine with me. I don't mind. But like constructive criticism, in my opinion, is the way to get better, and I want to get better. Okay, I want to get better as a trader, obviously, like 1% better every day. That's my mentality. I want to improve and the money will follow, and I want to improve my trading and the money will follow. But also, like, I want to get better at this YouTube. Okay, I do enjoy it. And yeah, live streaming every day helps me a lot with being accountable and responsible for myself. Okay, and stuff like this. So that's so like, look at this. I mean, there's a way the speed, and might be an extra video, but the speed is also important. How fast is stuff like here moving? Like we pushed up fast, okay, then we slowly coming back down. So this tells me this wants to go higher, for example, like because we pushed and we came back down slow. Now we did do see some liquidity here show up. That's kind of sucks if you wanna go long here. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, so stay tuned for my series. Okay, let me know, please, really let me know in my series, in my videos, what you like, what you didn't like about my content in general and stuff like this. Okay, because I really do want to improve my videos, and I might redo my series at some point anyways. I'm gonna get a better camera setup, like maybe eventually, like I'm gonna moving out my my setup here out of my closet as well, so to just make better videos for you. At this point, like I'm focusing mostly on my trading. But anyways, peace guys, see you in my live stream. Hopefully I do stream every day the US Open. Like I usually come online like 15 minutes before the Open, and then just stream for about 2 hours. Okay, yeah, today I was streaming a little bit shorter than that because I did take the breakout here, the big one, but I cut it at break even, and then I wanted to re-enter it, but I was hesitant, and then it just ripped. Okay, then at this point I felt FOMO and tilt, so I just stopped trading for the day, which is also very important. Like I'm gonna be going over some mental stuff as well, but this is pivots. Okay, like you want to look really at the speed. Okay, the speed price moves. Okay, when it stars, like is it getting rejected fast and hard, or is it just slowly grinding up, right? You gotta and always think like, where are other people positioning themselves? Okay, like that's what I want the most takeaway from this video. I want you, if you have takeaway one thing, is think about where are the other traders. Okay, what are the other people thinking? they thinking like, oh, we move here fast, I might long this, okay, like, and I put my stop just below this low, then you know, okay, the stops might be around here. Then once we approach this level, how does the order flow look like once we approach this stop, okay? Do we just shoot through, see a lot of selling, even big size selling, and the stop loss trigger and boom, we tank? Or do we see the stop loss trigger and the limit buying absorb everything and then push the price back up, okay? So always like think about it like this, okay? The market, the order flow, the price action, everything you look at, okay? They want to tell you a story, okay? Like they want to talk to you. They're talking to you in a language you learn to speak better and better, okay? Like you learn this language slowly. You speak with the market. It's constantly talking to you, constantly giving you new information, okay? Like saying, yeah, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, okay? Here, like I'm buying a couple things, I'm selling a couple of things, stuff like this, okay? Like it's constantly talking to you, okay? Yeah, and you want to talk back in form of executing, okay? So I'm out. I'm gonna call this a day, heading to yeah, gonna make it myself a nice evening. I hope you enjoyed the video and stay tuned.